Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be talking to you about the third principle in how to win friends and influence people. And that principle is arouse in the other person an eager want. Now I know that's not exactly the clearest description, but before I describe exactly how to apply this principle, there's a few things you need to understand. First of all, people do things because they want things. I know, mind-blowing stuff, right? But it's a simple fact. You go to work because you want to pay your bills. You eat because you don't want to be hungry. Even totally selfless acts like giving to charity. It's something you do because you want to help other people. Wanting things is simply what motivates us into action. The second thing you need to understand is people don't care what you want. A bit of a brutal truth, I know. But this is important, you have to understand. This principle often comes into play in the process of persuading others to do something. You cannot get somebody to do something simply because you want them to. It simply does not work. And here's where the principle comes into play. This principle is all about taking your eyes off of yourself, looking at the situation from the other person's point of view, and trying to figure out what it is that they want. For example, can you imagine me trying to get a vegan to dinner, talking about T-bone steak and ice cream sandwiches? It just doesn't make any sense. Now me, I would do anything for a T-bone steak. I will tip a cow over and set it on fire if I have to. But again, the other person doesn't care what I want. If I want to get them to dinner, I have to think about them. I talk about fresh, organic vegetables, coconut milk ice cream, black bean burgers. Nothing I would personally get out of bed for. But like I said before, effective communication is about taking your eyes off of yourself. Stop being selfish. And one final note. If it's not a win-win situation, it is simply manipulation. Yes, any of the tools in this book can be used to manipulate people, but that is not the purpose of the book, and it's certainly nothing that I condone. The goal of this principle is to get you to look at things more empathetically. You could be attempting to persuade them into something that you want them to do, but if you look through their point of view and you can't find a way in which they benefit, then you should not be trying to persuade them into it to begin with. Using any form of communication solely for selfish purposes is manipulative and simply wrong. So use this principle to arouse in the other person an eager want. Understand that they don't care what you want. Take your eyes off yourself and figure out what it is that they want and what it is that is going to motivate them into action. And genuinely look for a way in which the other person benefits. Guys, if you haven't read this book yet, I highly encourage it. This is one of the most life-changing books you will ever read. In fact, if you only read one book in your life, this is the one you want to read. Communication affects everything we do in our life, from work to home to recreational activities, and this book is the closest you will ever get to a manual on communication. But for all you TLDR types, stick with me. I'm going to be doing a video on each of the 30 principles. And lastly, do me a favor. Never forget that you are absolutely phenomenal. Have a great day.